Just quickly, bro, I want to mention that I do one-on-one coaching. I want to help you become that young man I know you can be and that you want to be. I will be your accountability partner. I will coach you and we'll have weekly calls. Message me on Instagram or go to the link in the description and sign up to the second tier and we'll start working together. Let's get to the video now. What if I told you, bro, that the most powerful, dangerous, strongest men in this world walk around with something called a God complex? You're probably going to look at me and think I'm crazy. Like, what the hell is he talking about? But the most powerful men in this world have this utter, ruthless belief about themselves. People will take this up to arrogance or having an ego, and fine. I'll actually be labeled as someone that's got a big ego or is a bit arrogant, that has a God complex because, well, to me, a God complex is one of the biggest advantages a young man or a man can bestow upon himself. And I'm going to teach you this. You see, we're walking around in a generation right now where we are at the whims of our emotions. And I've been that way for a very long time. We're in a generation right now where we can get one single thought, and that one thought crumbles us. It breaks us to a point where we're anxious, where we're depressed, where we're sad, where we're doom scrolling, where we're not doing the things that we know that we got to do because we're so scared of our own self and what people may think. We are living with a target on our back in a time right now where we should be the strongest, most capable, most diligent versions of ourselves because the world has got immensely easier, while the state of our generation of men has got immensely weaker. And this has become because we do not have control of our minds, and how we think and how we feel about ourselves limits us. You see, for a very long time, bro, I'd get a thought, and that thought could send me, it would stratosphere me to another place, bro. And it always almost send me to a downward spiral. Now, there was a long period of my life where I was abusing drugs and I was hanging around idiots, criminals, just bums. And I will tell you that anytime I got a thought, depending on what I was doing or where I was at in my life, that thought almost always got me to do the wrong thing or the opposite thing, or it just stopped me completely. And that's probably happening in your life right now. You see, I got a thought. That thought made me think, oh, that person might think it's funny, or, I would start to think lesser of myself and I wouldn't believe in my capabilities and what I could do. And then I'd just sit there and I'd scroll, or I'd smoke weed, or I'd go do some degenerate things with my friends to try and distract myself from the fact that I was just a fucking bitch. We're living in a time right now where we need to get control of our mind, and we need to bestow a God complex on ourselves, because a God complex is that young man out there, like myself now, and other like other young men like myself, which is that they believe that they can do anything, that they are immortal, right? And it sounds insane, right? But if this is backed up correctly through action, through results, this God complex is nothing more than your praise to yourself that you can do anything. It's like you become your own hype man. I want to start this business. I want to approach that girl. I want to make X amount of dollars. I want to be living in this country soon. Your mind will be your biggest asset instead of your biggest enemy, like our generation has warped themselves to that the one thing that they can control is the one thing that is defeating them. Well, if you start to bestow this God complex in your life, in your mind, you will start to see that every single thing that you want to go after, it'll be that personal hype man saying, yeah, you can do it. You'll then be more conscious to take action and not make excuses, which gets you to where you're trying to get. So let's look at and label why our generation we don't have this. I'll even just talk about myself, bro, in this video to give you reference. The biggest thing that made me distraught and made me that young man where I was battling anxiety and depression, which, to be honest, bro, I think is not even real. I believe you can feel sad. I believe that you can feel stressed. I believe you can feel anxious. But it's all feedback, and it's all signals that you should be doing more with your life, genuinely. Because I'm a young man, bro. If you know my story, I grew up in the hood for 20 years. I was a drug addict. My father left. I made all these mistakes growing up, bro. My life was chaos growing up. Chaos. And I felt everything. I felt emotions. I felt anxious. I felt scared. I felt horrified. I felt it all, bro. And growing up, now being 27 years old, I started to realize that that's all bullshit. It was nothing more than my conscience telling me I had to step my life up, I had to do more with myself, I had to fix the situation even though it wasn't in my control. I needed to fix it anyway, because as a young man I started to take responsibility and it became my control. But look, let me break this open for you. The reason our generation doesn't have it is that we have weak beliefs. And our beliefs now are something where we don't realize that we are limiting ourselves to what we can or can't do. So our generation, right, with these weak beliefs, is that we tend to think to ourselves the cons of every situation. And we'll look at something, right, and we'll think, oh, well, look, that person failed at it, or this person didn't do well at it, or I can't do it because there's not a high success rate in it. And every single thing, right, starts to just tell you why you shouldn't do what you're wanting to do. No guys can, get girls by cold approaches, so I'm never going to do it. I want to start this business. No, I can't do it, right? Your mind starts to bend towards just you losing. And think about it like this. If the one thing that you have control of is constantly working against you, you want to start that business and your instant thought is, I can't do it, then you're fucked. And I was that way for a very long time. So I'm coming from a place of knowing how your mind can turn on you, warp on you, that how it can convince you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it. But there's going to be a way that I teach you that will change it. But that's why our generation, we don't have, this prowess about us to conquer and win and become, just men who live the lives they want to live, is because our thoughts are so biased. They're so just lean towards, the negative. And we've backed it up through our whole lives through not doing what we're supposed to do. But let's break this open even more, right? So, yeah, we look at the cons, but then we also go straight towards comfort. And in this world, bro, the comfort is what generally destroys us. And when your life is this, whether it's you wake up late every day and you doom scroll and you're playing games and you're going out every weekend, drinking, doing drugs, comfort will breed you to becoming a man that does not feel like he can attack, that he doesn't possess this complex about himself that nothing can stop him. Because when you're living a life filled with challenges, when you're doing the hard thing, you're going to have a receipt, a backlog of proof in yourself, which will make you walk around with your shoulders back and your head held high, that you can do anything, where you start to have this God complex about yourself. But when your life is filled with comfort, well, look, the food you're putting in your body, the people you're talking to, what you do with your time, all breed you to be weak, submissive, scared, anxious, depressed, weak. So what you do will have this massive verdict on how you feel. If you walk around as you're the man, or if you walk around like, well, you can't do it. So what you do plays a massive role, and if your life is filled with comfort, you have to get rid of it. So that's another reason why our generation, we're losing this, is that we don't have challenges in our lives daily, whether it's doing a hard task, taking a cold shower, doing some knuckle push-ups, approaching a girl, starting your business, doing the things that scares you, right? We're lacking that, and we're living in comfort, which has just eroded us in real time. The last thing, right, is that we've all been told that by society, by school, that we should think a certain way, that we should act a certain way. And the biggest thing that has genuinely stopped us is that we're being told in this life that you should always be humble, kind, nice. And there's nothing wrong with being a good, honorable, principled, with values, running through life. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this world, you will always be at a disadvantage walking through life, and you're just this nice, easygoing, no vigor, no craziness about you to attack your goals. You'll always be at a disadvantage because of what your capabilities will allow you to do, because of who you are. So you need to go through life, and this is huge, by breaking society's mold of you and how they want you to be. And you have to go through life saying that most things are designed to keep you in your place, in you weak, keep you controlled, keep you weak. And you have to start questioning everything that you've been taught. Oh, be humble, be super kind all the time. But I'm not saying you be a bad person. Be slow and, wait for something, wait for this big break to happen eventually. It's all bullshit. So you have to start to configure yourself to where you are going through life and thinking, okay, no, hold on. That's trying to control me. That's trying to keep me weak. I will not live a comfortable life. I will not be a man that just looks and allows my thoughts to process all the negative things that can happen, and then that just cause this complete fucking bomb in my mind to just go, I'm not doing it. So you have to look at these things, and this is why we are, as a generation, just completely lost. We're weak. We don't have this God complex about us. But how we start to build this now, and this has been something that I have gone through my life, tested it to give it to you. The first thing is that you have to have belief in yourself. Now, of course, that's easier said than done, but this is always going to be backed up by day-to-day living. So if you want to start going through life and you're just completely unstoppable, that's how you feel, that you're immortal, no one can stop you, that you're ready to win and you're gonna win, right? Then you have to have belief in yourself, but this has to be backed up by action, right? And this is big. So you have to look at your life and think, okay, right now my life needs to be wielded to where my day-to-day life is someone that is doing the things that he has to do, not the things that I want to do. And what that will start to do, when you do challenging things, when you do your work, when you hit the gym, when you push yourself, you're going to start knowing that you are a man that sticks to his word, that you don't compromise on what needs to be done, and you do what has to be done, which starts to build you up in a way that's like, oh, fuck, hold on. Like, okay, cool, my body's starting to get on point. People are starting to respect me. I'm starting to walk around with a bit of like testosterone now because I'm keeping my word every day and I'm not cheating on my diet. I'm not playing video games and I'm not doing drugs and I'm not jerking off for the 10th time today. When you start to go through life keeping your word, that belief comes in to your conscious. It comes in and then it propels out to the world. So you have to look at that. You also have to curate your words and your thoughts to where every time you think of a negative, you slap it down with 10, 15, 20 positives. If you have an immediate thought of, I'm going to fail, boom, and you catch yourself, or you say to yourself, I'm going to win, 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 and you just brainwash yourself. Back it up by action and watch your thought process change. Watch your confidence, your self-esteem, your aura about yourself and how you go about life change, because it's being backed up by action and it's being rooted into you through that action. The next thing on how to build up this God complex is that you have to become the man that takes ownership of his life, right? So a big thing that we have done in our generation is that we've played the blame game. So let's just say we need to take ownership, but we need to erode the victim mentality, right? So we have to get rid of this shit. Victim mentality. We need to stop being that, because we're starting to put the blame on everything else except ourselves. And I did this for a long time, bro. I went through my whole life thinking, well, look, I grew up in the ghetto and my dad left and my brothers were hooked on drugs and they were fucking getting into a world of trouble and everyone that I knew were criminals and drug addicts and all these things were going on growing up. I played the blame card, the victim card my whole life. And you know what that got me? Nothing but a bit of self-pity. Like, it allowed me to be a loser. It allowed me to be okay with being a drug addict or being a degenerate and being that young man that just wasn't going anywhere. And you have to realize that taking ownership for your life, the good, the bad, and everything in between, and you start to play with the cards that you're dealt and go through life thinking, okay, look, I want that car, I want this, I want that body, I want that girl, I want that amount of money, I want this, I want that, I want this, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to get it. I'm not going to rely on my family. I'm not going to rely on my friends. I'm not going to rely on my girl. I'm going to rely on myself. And you take that ownership and you stop playing the blame card and the victim mentality. Stop having the victim mentality. You will go through life and build this complete complex about yourself of like, hold on. Like, okay, yeah, I am who I say I am. I do feel fucking like I'm now in control because I've taken ownership of my life. And when you start to have control of your life and everything, everybody is starting to mold around you because you're picking it, because you've taken control of your life. So people are in your life because you want them to be. Things that you're doing are because you want them to be. Where you're going and what you're doing is all curated for you to win. That ownership with results and with genuine consistency will give you a feeling, a complex about yourself that is unmatched to any type of other feeling you can get. Like, there's nothing that comes close to a man that realizes, okay, I've got my two hands, my 2 feet, this is what I've got, this is my avatar, this is the cards that I've been dealt. I'm gonna fucking stop playing the victim card, I'm gonna stop blaming others, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do every single day. Get up, work, go to sleep. Next day, get up, work, go to sleep, and this is working for yourself, building up your body, building up your mind, building up your bank balance, starting that business, working, hustling, becoming more knowledgeable. That will start to give you this complex about yourself of like, oh, wow, like, I'm the man. Like, everything always relates back to I'm the man, that no one can stop me because I'm doing shit that I once thought I couldn't do. And I'm taking control of my life, and I'm now starting to believe in myself, and I'm slapping down these negative thoughts that I used to have with positive thoughts. You become unstoppable, right? Like, think about it. How unstoppable do you become when you're in control? Your mind is starting to work for you. Then you get some money, you get your body on point, you get a nice honey by your side, bro. Like, it just starts to change so much. But looking at going deeper into that, right, bro, is that you have to already have lived like you are where you want to be, right? So this is big, right? Now, I'm going to label it like this. Live like you've got it, right? So right now, I'm a young man and I've got about 20 to 25 young men whom I coach, call them my students. I look at myself as I'm a young man with millions of subscribers, with hundreds of thousands of students that I'm teaching, that I'm coaching, that I'm being heard by many, many, many people. So I'm living my life congruent to the man that I want to be and the lifestyle that I want to have. Now, you have to start living your life congruent to the man that you want to be. So let's say that you're just building yourself up right now. You're not where you want to be, but you're on your journey. You're at least trying. You have to flip the switch in your mind. That does kind of just warp you into this God complex if you start backing up by action. But you have to live like you've already got it. Not this fake it till you make it bullshit, right? Because that's cringe and that's bullshit. But you have to live like you've already got it. So I am that young man who's got hundreds of thousands of young men who I'm coaching personally. I've got millions of people who are listening to my videos. When I'm not there yet I believe that I am there, so my life reflects that because people are counting on me and I'm living my life congruent to the life that I want to live. Now, this works in all contexts of life, right, bro? Like, doesn't always have to be towards your business, or, you can start building yourself up through, like, you've got the body already, or that you're that really good fighter, even if you've just started, to give you the upper hand and give you the confidence, the God complex in yourself that you can accomplish, that you can get what it is that you're going after. So live like you're already there. Like, if you start fighting, right? I'm a young man who I believe I could kick a lot of ass because I've done, boxing, bro, for a while now. And I've always thought to myself that I'm the best. Would I get my ass kicked? I'm sure of it, bro. But I believe in myself, so that gives me the upper hand on someone that I may spar with, or someone that I might fight with, or just anyone in general, because I think to myself that, I'm just as good as the number one, I'm just as good as Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia or Floyd Mayweather, or I'm just as good as them. When I'm not, but I have my God complex working for me that I am like them. And that gives me the upper hand in training, in sparring, in my own belief system about myself. Could I beat them? Fuck no. But I talk to myself as I could, because that gives me an upper hand to the people that I would go against. So that's huge. Live like you're already living the life that you want to live. And that'll give you a taste of what it's like. So that's huge, and that builds that complex inside of yourself. The last point that I'll touch on, and each of these points are just as important as one another, bro. But the last one is that you have to have, well, there's a few more points, but there has to be that your life is filled with excellence. And this looks like every single thing in your life is pushing you towards excellence, right? So when I look at my life, I look at the food that I eat, the people that I talk to, the music I listen to, the books that I read, the videos I watch. Everything is curated towards excellence in my life. Masculine excellence, masculine dominance, just winning in general. But if you start to frame your life as everything is moving towards excellence, 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 what that starts to do and how that calibrates you is that it will mold you in a certain way, because you are very moldable as a young man, as a man in general, as a person, where what you listen to, the thoughts that you think, the videos you watch, they mold you. So if you're always negative, you're hanging around bums, if you're doing this, you're listening to that, you're going to mold yourself. So I've said this millions of times, and I will continue to say this, is that your reality and what you do has to reflect someone that's winning. So it's always knowledge, it's always power, it's always just things that power you up in your life. When it comes to the food, when it comes to what you listen to, when it comes to the people you speak to, and everything else, is it pushing me towards excellence, or is it pushing me towards a life that I don't want to live? So that is massive on building yourself up into thinking that you can conquer this world, you can conquer any challenge, that you can do whatever you set out to do, because it's when you are powering yourself up constantly, you're recharging with alphas around you. You're listening to things that make you so much more smarter. They enhance your sixth sense. You're just so much more knowledgeable in how to approach life and what to do and how to do that business and when your whole life is just molded to excellence, winning, power. You power yourself up, which in turn gives you that complex. So all of these points, right, they're all just feeding up how you feel, giving you that God complex. Well, if you continuously do that and your reality around you is molded to it, then how are you not going to walk through this life just unstoppable? There's no way. I feel it right now, bro, because everything I'm telling you when I was scripting out this video is exactly what I've done with myself, and I feel it. And I'm a young man just like you. I ain't that different, bro. Like, genuinely. I've just been on self-improvement longer, been vigorous with my effort and how much I've been putting in, and I feel it, and I'm passing it on to you. The last point, right? So we'll keep it at curating your world. That's big, and you curate your world by always chasing excellence. The last point is that you have to stay ruthlessly disciplined. And I always frame it as this, right? My phrase is do what you're supposed to do regardless of how you feel. But we can also look at it as keeping your word to yourself, right? And this is what we've not done in our generation, which is why we've just completely stopped ourselves in getting to where we're trying to get and limited ourselves, is because we do not keep our word. We don't get up at the time we say we're going to get up. We don't call that person when we say we're going to call them. We don't go gym when we say we're going to go. We don't approach that girl when we say we're going to do it next time. We do not keep our word. And you have to go through life keeping your word, because keeping your word reflects discipline. If you're a man that says every day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to make my bed, and I'm going to go gym, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to work on my business, I'm going to do this and do that, right? And you keep your word. Day by day, week by week, you start to build up ruthless discipline in yourself, which will, again, relates back to how you feel, how you permeate through this world. When you know that the people around you are all jerking off, or waiting for the weekend to get fucked up and do some drugs, when you know that they're just going through the motion of life with no discipline, at the whims of their emotion, and you're a young man, every day, on time, counting your calories, eating good food, training, working, pushing, doing what you're supposed to do, how are you not going to walk around feeling as though, again, that you cannot be stopped? That your belief in yourself is not topped out? It will be, because mine is. And it's because I've just kept my word day by day. I'm doing what I know that I need to do, not what I want to do. Because if we always act upon what we want to do, we'll always be doing the same shit that we've been doing. TikTok, drinking, video games, doom scrolling. Like, we just go back to the stupid, dumb shit that destroys us. But if you keep your word day by day, everything that you want is just a few steps. All you need to do is take a few steps of discipline, get the momentum building in your life with some discipline, and everything you want is going to feel like it's a few steps away. It's in reach, because discipline gets the body, discipline gets the girl, discipline gets the mindset, discipline gets the house, the car, the freedom, the respect, the stature. Discipline gets it all. And when you're disciplined, knowing that everyone else isn't, that's when your shoulders are back, your head's held high, and you're going through life thinking, psst, I'm the man. No one can stop me. So this is big, bro. And what this does is it calibrates you to have this God complex about yourself. I'm unstoppable. It's backed up by proof. I want this. I'm going to get it. That's what it does. Instead of, oh, I don't know if I can. Oh, that's a bit scary. I don't know. That's a bullshit way of living. Our mind is our biggest asset. This world has trained us to have it be our worst enemy. But if you listen to what I got to say, bro, it'll start to change. You'll flip the switch in your mind and it'll start to become your biggest asset, to where what you want, you'll have. To how you want to feel, you'll feel. And I really do mean that, bro. If you want to do coaching with me one-on-one, you want to join a network of young men all building their God complex up, message me on Instagram for coaching, or go to the Patreon link in the description and sign up to the second tier, and we'll get you started, bro, and calibrating yourself to become that man that you want to be. I love you, brother, and I genuinely mean that.